Hi everyone, this is Mariah, and today I'm going to show you how you can make backgrounds using the Brusho Colour Crystals with a dryer sheet or with a paper towel. Both of these techniques are very similar. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how I did the one with the dryer sheet, and I don't know if you can really see the detail, but this is what it looks like. To do this technique, you need a dryer sheet. A used one is fine, or a new one. Whichever one you decide to use, you're going to want to iron. It's the only time my iron ever gets used. So we've already got our dryer sheet ready here. It's all ironed, and we're going to go ahead and stick this on non-stick parchment paper. You're going to want something that when you use the floor wax to do this technique, is not going to stick. So we've got our Brusho Colour Crystals here, and for this particular one I'm going to use the leaf green and the turquoise. And you're going to want these colors to be kind of dark for the simple reason that the wax paper you're going to put this on is going to pick up the color, as well as the top piece of wax paper that you put on top of it, so that it doesn't stain whatever you put on top to weigh it down while it dries. So sprinkle some turquoise, and I've got just a single hole here. And sprinkle the leaf green. And now we have our mister bottle here, and we're going to just spritz with water. Spritz, 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 let it run. And you can see your color starting to move here. And your colors mixing, you are going to want to use colors that go together, like blues and greens, red and yellows, and that type of stuff. Okay, so we've got it wet here. Now comes the fun part. I've got just regular Dollar Tree wax paper here. Any wax paper will work. Okay, we're going to do some stress reduction here. And crumple this up. Unfold it. Lift up our piece of our dryer sheet. And you see I have this lovely pattern now on my parchment paper. So we're going to put this down like that. And yes, it's messy. You know me, I like to do messy crafting. Crumple a piece to put on top. like this on top, and then weigh it down with something heavy. Don't worry, I'm not using a library book. This is a book I picked up at a thrift store. And put something heavy on and let this dry. Once it is dry, you're going to just take off the top piece of wax paper, which will be colored, and so if you want, you can use it for something else. And then what you would do is take floor wax. This is Johnson Pledge multi-surface finish, but any acrylic floral wax will work. I don't do floors. Not wax. This is left over from a few years back when I made some Christmas ornaments that called for it. And then you will take a brush like this and just pounce it down after you've gotten it wet with floral wax. It's really easy to do, and you get that neat background. Now, I told you about the other one that I did and what I learned. This has been a learning experience for me doing these different things. So, I did this one here. This is actually a paper towel, which I went ahead and separated because it's actually 2-ply paper toweling. I went and sprinkled the Brusho on just like I did and the one I showed you with the wax paper. You know, the difference I did with this one was I did not spritz it with water. I went ahead and used the floor wax and my sponge brush and daubed it on. I thought because I was doing this on non-stick parchment paper it wasn't going to stick, but believe you me, the floor wax has glued this down good. And you can either use that side, or if you want it, you could go ahead and use this side here. It's up to you. This is more subtle, softer coloring, and the other side is more vibrant with the texture course from your paper towel. While your wax is still wet, you can go ahead and sprinkle glitter or anything like that on it. The other thing that I have done using this technique is I've gone ahead and taken my wax paper. I've taken either the single ply paper towel or I've taken regular facial tissue, which I've separated, and once again using a sponge brush and my floor wax, daubing it on so that it adheres. You can use thin down white glue. It's not as transparent, and I don't always have it stick quite as well. And it's a fun technique to experiment, see what you can do using the floor wax, using paper towels, using napkins, anything like that. You can actually sandwich the two pieces of wax paper with something in between it. Just have fun, be creative, and although I did this with the Brusho Crystals, you can use the Ken Oliver Color Burst. I did find when I tried using the Perfect Pearls with this, using the floor wax, that it did not dissolve as well. It left more like specks in my piece, but that's okay. There is really most of the time you really can salvage something. So have fun, and wishing you happy frugal crafting till we meet again, and thank you for stopping by.